Good afternoon. My name is Giovanni Lionel. I am pursuing my bachelor's in computer information systems. And today I am going to break down with you guys The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins for my English course. First, we will begin with the historical context. During the late 1800s, women were largely confined to domestic roles. Men controlled most aspects of life, including medicine. When a woman experienced mental issues, they were often diagnosed with hysteria. I hope I pronounce this right. And given the infamous rescue, which meant complete isolation and no creative or intellectual activity. Gilman herself was prescribed this treatment, and her horrifying experience inspired the Yellow Wallpaper. So with this information, back then, again in the 1800s, women who were diagnosed with conditions, it does not have to be major, but their husbands, or I would say a male figure, would take them and put them in a room, an empty room, I believe, so that whatever they're dealing with, they can let go of it in that particular environment. Okay, we have the character analysis. The story's main character is an unnamed woman suffering from postpartum. I hope I pronounce this right as well. Postpartum depression. And her husband, John, is a physician and represents the male-dominated system. And he believes he knows what's best for her wife and a rescue. But instead of helping, it worsens her condition. So there again, you have the male dominance. For example, myself, we think that we know what's best more than a female figure would know what's best for a certain situation. Next, you have Gilman uses John to represent how society, even with good intention, silenced women and stripped them from autonomy, meaning they were not able to have full access to let's say a desire or something that they see fit for themselves as a woman. Next, we have setting and symbolism. The setting is just as powerful as the characters. The woman is locked in a room with hideous yellow wallpaper and barred windows. Over the time, she becomes obsessed with the wallpaper, believing there's a woman trapped behind it. This symbolizes her own feeling of being trapped mentally, physically, and socially. So in this room, the yellow wallpaper, it represents those three emotions: mental, physical, and social. You go through some sort of mental disorder, number one. Physical, you can't do anything. You just there like a stale vegetable. And socially, you have no communication, no phone. I don't believe there were any phones back in the 1800s, but no phones, nobody, no friends, not even her husband that she could be able to speak with or communicate with. Okay. The wallpaper becomes a metaphor for the barriers women faced. That is very interesting. Next, you have themes and critique. One of the central themes is repression of the mind, the voice, and the body. The protagonist isn't allowed to write or express herself. Rather, her thoughts and feelings are constantly dismissed. Her slow mental breakdown shows how dangerous these restrictions were. Gilman is saying that the system, not the woman, is sick. She uses fiction to expose how harmful it is to silence women under the name of care. Okay. In the end, the narrator believes she freed the woman in the wallpaper, but at the cost of her sanity. It's a tragic symbolic rebellion. Gilman's message is clear. The system meant to protect women often harm them. The yellow wallpaper is still relevant today because it reminds us to listen to the question's authority and to fight for the autonomy and better mental health support for everyone, especially women. We as men, we do not, I find in today's society, we do not really consider what a woman has to say, what is thinking, her process. It's all about being strong and carrying no emotions. Women need to have emotion. Women need to sympathize with women in order to have a better space of communication and production. Thank you all for tuning in to the breakdown of the yellow wallpaper. See you again next time.